And I'm going to chill right here, see if anybody else hops in a tiny bit late, but you guys can go on ahead and lay down. We're going to start with a little opening Shavasana today. Is it just me, or have you guys also noticed that? I think it's more noticeable to me after the last 2 years of living through insanity. The world seems to be picking up its pace again a little bit. We're back to kind of moving and hustling. And I'm just going to be honest, I don't really love it. I don't. I'm not big on the hustle and grind culture. I like rest. I think rest is necessary and important. And so today we're going to move with some ease. It's a beginning flow, so we don't have to like into it today. We can be easy breezy. So lay down and take a few deep breaths. Find your connection to earth, your connection to your place in the world. You belong here. It is your space. Take it up. And then bring that attention to your breath, right? Anchoring into self. Maybe take some nice deep breaths. Let some sighs out. And just settle in. Bring yourself here to this moment. And then as we ride the wave of breath, and maybe we start to deepen the breath just a little bit as we prepare for practice, we prepare to move. Maybe you ride that breath through the body and you ask yourself, how do I feel today? Start with your body. How does my body feel today? And then how is my breath today? And then how is my mind and my emotions today? They don't always line up. You can have high energy and still have a tired body. You can have a body that feels well rested, but your energy just isn't up today. All good. All good. Just see what's there. And if as you're observing what's there, it isn't necessarily what you want to be there, then how can we use our practice, our time on the mat today, to move you from where you are closer to where you would like to be? That is our goal, my friends. I think every time we step on the mat, if you're trying to get stronger or if you're trying to find more peace, I literally started my yoga practice when I had 2 kids under the age of 4. My kids are 20 months apart. And my daughter, I think, was creeping up on 2. So my son was a little over 3. And I started my yoga practice just because I needed to find my sanity. It wasn't about getting stronger. It had nothing to do with the shape of my body or how I felt in my body or how my body looked. There were no physical goals whatsoever when I started my yoga practice. It was not about that. It was about connecting to myself, finding my breath, creating a space where I could find a little bit of peace, a little bit of calm in the midst of, it's chaos when you have 2 really little kids. Chaos. That's what I was looking for. And if that's what you're looking for today, that's an outstanding goal. Just so you know. Just so you know. At any point in practice today, I invite you to come back to laying down or taking child's pose or coming to a comfortable seat and breathe. At any point, just pop right out of wherever we're at and come back to what serves you well. This is your practice. Make it work for you. On your next breath in, go on and reach the hands up and overhead. If the shoulders don't really love it when you reach the hands straight back overhead, maybe reach them out to the side then. Take up some space, but just expand. Expand through the whole body here. I will join you on the mat. And I will reach up. And now maybe take a yawn, like I just did, or a stretch, or a sigh. Maybe you walk one arm up, and then the other arm, reaching one hand high, and then reaching the other. We often do this standing. It's kind of nice to walk. I call it walking the armpits. Walk the armpits up while you're laying down. And then settle to the center here. And pause. Then we're going to walk both feet over to the right corner of the mat. I'm not going to cross the left ankle over yet. I don't really feel warm enough to go super deep in a stretch. I just want to ease into some stretches. So I'm just going to leave both feet next to each other. But then I'm going to walk my head, neck, shoulders a little bit towards the top right corner of my mat. And take a little bit of a banana pose. And you can try pointing and flexing the feet, moving the wrists a little bit, checking in on your shoulders. Breathe into the left side body here. We'll release the hands back into the center and walk the feet back. Pause here, maybe take a nice stretch up. Take a nice deep breath in. What does your body need? Relax the shoulders for a second, maybe. And when we are ready, we will walk feet to the left corner. And again, I'm not stacking feet, just leaving them next to each other. And then work that head, neck, and shoulders. Just a little shimmy over to the left. And I'm going to bring my arms back up and feel that really luscious stretch through the right side body, letting the shoulder be as heavy as it wants to be. And if keeping the arms on the ground overhead is a challenge, put a blanket or pillows so that you got support here and you can just relax into this shape. Maybe point and flex the feet and see how that deepens your shape. And then we'll release head, neck, and shoulders, come back. Now feet walk back over. And then feet walk up and in. Nice bridge base. I'm lifting the tailbone. I'm gently setting it back down, tucked under, so that my low spine is nice and long. And I'm leaving a little bit of space between my feet and my torso here. I'm not trying to get all the way like crunched up and in here, right? I just make some space. And then if you've never done this before, I invite you, we're going to take our windshield wipers and just move into hips and massage through the glutes a little bit. But if you've never tried it, take your windshield wipers with your feet all the way together. Try windshield wipers with your feet hip width apart, and try windshield wipers with your feet wider than the hips, pinky toes all the way out to the edge. The exhale takes the knees to the right. The inhale brings the knees center. Try it on each side with different spacing and play around until you find that spacing that just really feels the best in your body today. And just because you've always done it a certain way, or just because it felt good a certain way last time, doesn't mean you won't find a little bit of extra joy in something slightly different. So move with the breath here. Inhale, center. And exhale to the side. Just easy, right? And then slow everything down a little bit. Deepen the breath so it takes a little longer to inhale and exhale. And allow the knees to move a little more slowly as that happens. And at some point, you might let the knees stay over to the right for a minute. Maybe put your left ear on the mat. And then nose to sky, knees to sky. Slide the knees left and maybe bring the right ear down to the mat. How's the neck feeling today? And slide back up, nose to sky, knees to sky, right knee in the right hand, left knee in the left hand. We'll rock a little side to side. And make some circles, knees going around. Go nice and slow. Just like when we do our core work, we have that little speed bump, that little moment of, oh, I have to kind of go over that spot. It's usually our weakest spot in the core. You might find a spot today where you're like, oh, something's going to pop right there. That joint is going to open up. Go slow and easy. Take your time. Feel your way around. And then pause here. Take the right knee towards the right side of the mat and the left knee towards the left side of the mat. Not really a happy baby, but just starting to rock into the adductors a little bit. Moving the ankles, turning them, wiggling the toes. Keep the shoulder blades heavy and the skull drops down. And if you haven't already, you might take this brief moment to set your intention for practice. Whatever it is that brought you to your mat today that you wanted to find, or maybe something you're looking to cultivate a little more of in your practice, and boil it down to a word or a short phrase. And just infuse that into your movement today. And then gently bring those knees back in. Maybe even take a couple quick rounds of circles, the knees going in opposite directions. And we're going to make our way up to seated. So if you like to roll through the spine, take a few rolls. If you want to turn to one side and press up, that's also fabulous. How you get to a new shape really matters. So move in a way that works for you. And then come to a nice comfortable seat. And now we've shifted our orientation to the earth. So connecting to your sits bones, feeling nice and grounded. Bring the palms up underneath the knees and just use the hands to sort of shake the knees out a little bit. If you're sitting in a Sukhasana, an easy pose, notice which foot is in front. If you're sitting in something like bound angle, that's a neutral shape. It's balanced on both sides of the body, so don't have to worry about it. Find that shape that works. Lift the heart up a little higher, maybe. Drop the shoulders down the back a little bit. And then release the hands to the heart center. Bow the head. Pause. Feel the length in the back of the neck. I think one of the things I notice most when the world starts to get all hustle and grindy on things is that when I get to my own practice, I sit here, I bow my head, and after a breath, I'm starting to think, okay, what's next? That's me. Maybe that's you too. If you are, friend, you are not alone. But I'm trying to let that go. That's living in the future. I want to be here. I want to be present. Even with my cat, who is pawing at a box. Put the left hand over your heart. Put your right hand on top. Keep that head nice and low. Remembering your intention. Take a nice deep breath in. Expand the heart up into the hands. And then exhale, push the hands away. Drop your heart back in space. Thinking cat pose. Inhale, palms together. Reach them up towards the sky. Fingertips kissing here, not the whole palm. Keep the right hand lifted. Float the left hand down. And now take this right hand and turn the pinky like you're trying to wave at somebody behind you. And then let the shoulder drop down the back a little bit. Then we'll walk the left fingers out and start to lean into a nice little side stretch. Push back with the left palm so that the right hip stays grounded. If this hip pops up, you're basically giving your whole stretch away. In order to create stretch, we need to have two anchoring points, right? So it's the reach of the fingers and the grounding of the right hip that creates the space in the right side body here. And then if you want to play just a little, maybe press and open the heart up towards the sky, a little twist, and then rotate and turn the heart a little bit towards the ground. And see, go slow, go easy, see what happens in the body. And if this side stretch, just heart forward, feels amazing, stay here. Maybe bend the left elbow, drop a little bit deeper, and then press all the way back up, release the right hand down. Inhale, hands to heart center, bow the head. And then we'll stack the left hand over the heart and the right hand on top. Pull the shoulder blades back just a little bit. Inhale, fill that space in the hands here where the chest lifts. And then exhale, push the palms forward, chin to chest, heart drops back in space, big cat stretch for the back. And then fingertips together, inhale them up towards the sky. And then the left hand stays and the right hand floats down. Turn that left palm a little bit towards the back. You'll notice when you do that, that this shoulder blade drops down. It creates a little more space here. Then we can walk the right fingertips out, push back into the left hip, and find your side stretch. And then maybe we inhale and open heart up, and exhale, turn the heart down. Dial it up, dial it down, and come back into your balance here. Heart forward. Maybe reach a little further. And rise all the way back up. Shift the feet, opposite foot comes in front. Hands to knees, shake them out. How do the knees feel in this shape? How do the hips feel? Inhale, left hand to heart, right hand on top, bow the head. Exhale, push it back, cat pose, seated cat. Inhale the fingertips up. Exhale the left hand down, reach into our side stretch. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, heart to earth. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Exhale the right hand down. Inhale, right hand to heart, left hand on top. Bow the head, feel the chest fill. Exhale, push those palms away, cat back. Inhale, fingertips lift up, look at your thumbs. Exhale, the right hand comes down, find your side stretch. Inhale, open the heart, little twist up. Exhale, pivot heart towards the earth. Inhale, you're neutral. Exhale, rise all the way back up. And we'll all shift our feet out into Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle, or excuse me, just bound angle. We're not reclined. So used to saying it. Find a good spacing for your feet. Maybe you let them go further away. Maybe you draw them part way in, hands to knees. Give them a little bit of shake, shaky, shake, shake. And then we're going to draw the left foot in and bring the right foot back behind the body. If this is too much on this right knee, maybe reach this right leg out straight, bring the toes up to the sky. Play around with it, find an angle that's going to feel okay. You can also put a blanket underneath the hips here to get a little bit of lift. This is the prep for Vajrasana. I just like saying that. It's kind of fun. Bring the left hand down to the ground. And you're going to be thinking left, as we lean forward, you want left shoulder over left wrist. We're going to reach forward with the right hand. Reach all the way across the body. And then start to lift the thumb up to the sky. And when bicep comes up by the ears, start to lift back up and release the hand all the way down. Just like that again. Right hand reaches across the body, big stretch. Lift the thumb, slowly rise and reset. We're going to do it again, but I'm going to give you an option. If you want to add a little hip stretch here, as you reach the hand forward, lift the hips, press the hip bones forward, reach the hand up. There's your lovely side stretch. Around, hips come all the way down. If that's not for you today, stay grounded, friends. One more time, reach across, maybe press those hip bones forward, open, and float it down. Right hand comes to left knee. Take a little twist. And then switch. Left hand crosses over, right hand comes back. And then we'll release. Shift your weight to that left hip. Bring the right foot around. Come back to your reclined bound angle. I did it again. Come back to your bound angle. Shake out your knees. Roll out your shoulders. And we'll bring the right foot in. We're going to switch sides. We'll try bringing that left foot behind. Again, you can straighten that leg out to the side, or you can put a blanket underneath to help balance out your hips. And you might notice that you like lift way up out of one hip over the other. That's pretty normal, not to worry. Pause, right hand comes down. And you'll notice my right hand is out because I'm going to slide forward. I want the shoulder over the wrist when I come to bearing weight here, right? So don't put it right too close to the body. Give yourself a little space. Reach that left hand all the way across. Press the thumb up. Bicep comes to ear, open. Release that hip down. Just like that. Reach it across. Big stretch here. Open the thumb up and release. We've got 2 more times. Dos más. Option to lift the hips as we reach forward and up and around and down. One more time. Reach forward, up, around and down. Inhale the weight into the right hip. Swing the feet around, wider than hips. Hands come backward to the side. Take a few little windshield wipers here. Lift the heart up nice and high. We don't want to slouch in this particular shape. And then we're going to swing both feet around and come into tabletop, all fours. Get there mindfully, right? Set yourself up for success. We want to stack the joints correctly to support the body, but we also want to engage the correct muscles so that the bones and the joints aren't taking all the brunt of the weight. So pull the muscles of the front body up. There should be like a little dome between your shoulder blades. And if you know your anatomy really well, the shoulder blades are sliding out towards the side edges of the body. You can feel the difference. If you pull your rib cage down towards the floor, pull your shoulder blades into the middle, then lift up and out. It's this lift that we're looking for here. And we're using front body muscles to support the back in this shape. Inhale, drop the belly, lift head, heart, and hips. Exhale, roll through the spine, chin to chest. 2 more. Inhale, low belly. Maybe we wrap the upper arm bones externally. So you're turning the soft part of the bicep forward and the bony part of the elbow back towards your legs. And you'll know you're there if you come to neutral and you bend your elbows. If your elbows are going out to the side, your arms are not quite rotated. You might even need to shift the dial on your palms here so that the index finger points up, or maybe the webbing between index and thumb is pointing up. That can assist in finding this rotation. Just give me 1 more low belly cow. Exhale, cat. Hey, and I got a cat on my cat pose. Hi, Mimsy. Thank you for being whatever on the mat. Returning to neutral, we'll tuck the toes under. Really, really pull the front body up. So the core is strong here, especially to support the low back as we pull the knees up off the mat, slide the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And walk out the dog, whatever that means for you today. Maybe we rock the hips side to side, pedal through the feet. Maybe you need to nod the head yes and shake it out no. Maybe you want to lift the right knee, bend the right knee, lift the right foot, and then turn that right knee towards the left side of the mat, getting a little stretch through the side body. And then switch, anchor the right heel, lift the left, turn that left knee towards the right. Take your time, we're not in a hurry. And you can alternate that a few rounds through. And then settle yourself into downward facing dog. That same external rotation in the arms is happening here. The shoulder blades are still wide across the top of the back. So find that little bit of dome, grip with the fingerprints, let the heels drop down. And then we're going to rise up onto the toes, bring the heart towards the thighs, look at the top of the mat, and take a nice walk up. Feet at least 6 inches apart. Today, maybe you want to go even a little deeper and a little wider and bend the knees. Goal here being to bend the knees so much that your upper body can rest on your thighs. And then breathe, observe the low back. And then maybe we take a little sway side to side. You can even ragdoll here, hold the elbows if that serves. And then keeping a little bend in the knees, we're going to walk both hands outside the pinky toe of the right foot. So this left arm is really pulling across the body. Notice we get a lovely side stretch here. And you really can get a good sensation of breathing into the low back on the left side of the body. Release it back to center. And we'll walk it over to the right. Bringing that right arm across that left foot. Keep the head nice and heavy. Breathe into the right side of the body, the right side of the back. And then we're going to release back into the center. Palms are going to come to shins first. Now engage the core and the front body muscles. Lift the back, halfway lift. Exhale, soften and float all the way back down. Inhale, palms to shins. Press in, strong front body lift. Exhale, fold all the way down. Last time, inhale, palms to shins. Lift up halfway. This time we're going to drop the hips down like we're sitting in a chair and slide the palms up as we press into the earth and rise all the way up to mountain pose. Make all the cute little adjustments to our wardrobe because things have shifted. You guys might notice I pretty much never teach with my hair down, and I'm doing it today, trying something new. I can try something new, you can try something new. Turn the palms to face forward here in your mountain pose. And then rotate the arms to turn the palms back. Maybe even turn the thumbs back. And then we'll pivot around the opposite direction. Maybe we bring the thumbs back and the pinkies forward, palms face out. We're just exploring through our shoulders what feels good, what doesn't. External rotation, palms are forward. Internal rotation, palms are back. Release palms to face your body here. Neutral. Grounded through the feet. Inhale, breathe all the way up. We'll draw the hands into the heart, and we're going to slide the left foot back for warrior one. So the left heel is going to come in, roll into the pinky toe side of the back foot, and adjust the angle as needed. Keeping this right knee over right ankle. And we'll sweep both hands up. And we'll hold the left hand and reach it across the body. Get a little side stretch. Inhale, reach all the way back up. Are you feeling grounded? Are your hips and tailbone like dropping towards the earth? And then muscles you're engaging, glutes, quads. Actively turn your quads on here. Feel the muscles doing their job. And then we'll lift the back heel, pivot open, and expand into warrior two. Right knee is still over right ankle. And if you need a little ease in your shape today, narrow your stance just a little bit. This thigh is going to be like a nice 45-degree angle. And if you're really getting deep here, maybe get a little wider and drop the hips down. No tilting, right? We're straight up and down here. Inhale the left hand down, the right hand comes up. Reverse warrior. Exhale back to warrior two. Inhale up and back, reverse the warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Last time, up and back. Really breathe into the right lung and the right side body. And then exhale, warrior two. Inhale the hands down behind you and we'll interlace the fingers. Notice which thumb is on top. Keep those knuckles pressing right against the back of the glutes and then push them down, slide down, and see how pulling the hands down opens the collarbones, lifts the heart. And then you can leave the hands right here. We're going to slide this right shoulder towards the right knee. You can keep the hands low. If you want a shoulder stretch today, you of course are welcome to lift and drop all the way deep into your humble warrior. It's really yogi's choice. Notice the inner thighs, those adductors are turning on to help you balance here. And then press through that front leg, rise back up, release the hands, release back to warrior two. Windmill the hands, big swimming strokes. Let that back foot pivot with you all the way down, framing the ground, framing that front foot, runner's lunge. Notice, are your hips popping up? And if they are, bring them right down, nice and low, nice and strong. And then we're going to pop that left foot up about a couple of inches. And then pop it up another couple of inches until eventually you can step it all the way up to the top of the mat, forward fold. And we'll observe the two sides of the body, the hips, the hamstrings, the knees, the ankles. Inhale, float up halfway, palms to shins. Exhale, sink the hips down, thinking chair pose. Inhale, push the earth away, rise up. Exhale, draw hands into the heart. Take a nice deep breath all the way up. As the hands come into the heart, peel that right heel up, slide the right foot back. Trust that the ground is there. You don't need to look back to see where the floor is. You know what's underneath you, right? Make adjustments to the angle of this foot based on how it feels, not how the angle looks, okay? Pushing into the pinky toe side, keeping your hips, your heart, and your head neutral for your body's alignment towards the top of the mat. And neutral for you might be turns just a little bit in the hip, and that's okay. We're all built, our anatomy is all a little different. When you find it nice and strong, reach both hands up. And this time we'll hold the right hand and reach. Really grounding through the feet here, hold your balance. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Lift the back heel, pivot open, warrior two. Drop the shoulder blades, extend. Inhale, left hand up, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, up and back. Breathe into the left side body, big stretch. Exhale, warrior two. Last one, inhale, up and back. Exhale, warrior two. And we'll interlace and put the weird feeling thumb on top. Knuckles glued into the body, push them all the way down. Pull the heart open, pull the shoulders down. And then keep the hands here if you like, as we float that left shoulder down to the left knee or inside the left knee. And if you like the shoulder stretch, of course, you're welcome. Inner thighs are doing the work here, and the feet are so heavy and grounded. This left quad is active and engaged. And then press through that front leg, release the hands, rise all the way back up. Extend it out, warrior two. And we'll windmill the hands all the way down. Frame that front foot. We're going to step the left foot back and come to tabletop again. So the knees come down to the earth. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. I'm going to bring my toes together and open my knees out to go into thread the needle. This is more comfortable in the way my hips are built. So if you like to keep a traditional tabletop with the knees centered under the hips, by all means stay. But now we're going to take the right hand and slide it up the left arm to the shoulder, open across the collarbones. You can stay right here with the elbow lifted, or you can reach the hands up and get a little deeper into your twist. And then we'll slide that right arm through, right shoulder, right ear coming down to the mat. Maybe this left hand today comes to the small of the back. Or maybe you want to reach forward, fingertips on the ground, fingertip stance. Wherever the left hand is, bring it back. Press into the palm, rise back up, and reset the body in the center here. And then we'll swipe the left hand up the right arm across the collarbones, maybe hold at the elbow, maybe open the arm up to the sky, and slide left ear, left shoulder down to the earth, sliding that left hand behind. And the same options here. You can bring the right hand to the small of the back, adding a little twist component, or you can reach that right hand forward, which is a slightly different stretch to the right side body and the right side of the back. And then we'll draw the right hand back in. Rise all the way back up. Everyone bring the knees wide and the toes together. Hip creases slide back. Extend the arms forward. Extended child's pose. Pause here, centered on the mat, just for a few breaths. And if you've noticed some tension in your neck, I invite you to roll the forehead, temple to temple, side to side, just waking up the third eye chakra, but also bringing a little bit of release to the neck and a nice massage to the forehead. And then return center, lift your gaze, look at your thumbs, walk your right hand even off the mat if you can, left hand stacks on top. Bring that forehead or chin, or maybe this time you bring the left ear down towards the mat. And breathe into the left side body. Just a few breaths. And then shift the gaze, walk the hands through center, left hand coming off the mat, right hand stacking on top, right temple, maybe right ear coming down to the ground. We'll breathe into the right side body. And look at the thumbs. We're going to walk it back to center. Bring the forearms to the mat here. Lift the hips and slide forward. Maybe walk the knees back. We're going to come all the way down to the belly with the shoulders over elbows, elbows straight out to wrists. I like this shape with my fists so I can see that the elbow to wrist is a nice straight line, not wide or narrow. And then you can turn the palms down if you like. Pull the heart a little bit forward and then release the hips, rock the hips a little bit side to side. A little massage on the front side of the pelvic girdle and a little release for the glutes. And then I'm going to bring my feet closer together, squeezing in, pushing my pelvis bone down, the front side of the hips, really pushing them down into the earth, creating a nice strong base and a lot of length in the low back. And then just turn your head and look to the right. And then turn your head and look to the left. And then if you like, you can shift your weight into your right elbow and turn and look all the way back towards your right foot. Feel the stretch through the side body. And then shift into the left elbow, turn and look back. We're just going to move side to side, whatever works, turning the neck, shifting the body. And then we're going to float all the way down, forehead to the earth here. Walk the hands out, outside the edges of the mat. I'm going to do palms down. You can do fingertip stance. Elbows are up. Really squeeze the legs in together. Push that pelvic bone down. Inhale, float up into your baby cobra. And then put your right shoulder down, turning to look left. Inhale and lift. Dip the left shoulder down and look right. Inhale, center. And exhale, float to the earth. Do it just like that one more time. Inhale, rise up, baby cobra. Right shoulder dips in. Inhale and lift. Left shoulder dips in. Inhale and lift. Exhale and float all the way down. And then release the hands behind you. Let the palms turn up. Forehead on the earth. And again, shake. You can release the feet. Maybe even turn the toes towards each other and away. I'm going to rest with toes together. It's a nice stretch through the side of the foot. And then we just rock the hips a little bit. And then we're going to come around onto our backs. So if you're comfortable simply flipping over like a pancake from here, just flip over like a pancake. I am not a pancake. I'm going to slide up and swing around. That feels better in my body. You do what feels good for you. Come all the way down to the back. Reach the arms up overhead, back to where we started. Big stretch. Walk the armpits, one and then the other. And see if there's a little more ease in this movement now. If you got a little more range of motion, a little more ability to reach. Then come and hold at center, and we'll walk the feet to the right corner of the mat. Let the left foot now cross on top. Just right from there, I can feel a little more stretch through the waist in my left side. And then I'll walk head, neck, and shoulders a little bit towards that top right corner. And this time, right hand is going to hold the left elbow. I can get my blocks out of my way. And just lengthen through the whole left side body. Maybe bring the right ear to the mat. Maybe you like to look up at the sky. It's all good. Be mindful of where your neck is at and that it feels safe and in line with your spine. And then release the head, neck, and shoulders back to the center. Uncross the feet and come back to center. Big, long stretch. Maybe walk the elbows, walk the armpits up. Point and flex your feet. Take a few circles. And then walk the feet to the left corner of the mat. And walk the head, neck, and shoulders to the left corner of the mat. Right ankle crosses on top. Left hand takes the right wrist. Just give it a little more length here. And we breathe into right side body. And then release that ankle, walk it back to center. Head, neck, and shoulders comes back. Pause just one breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. And we'll bring the feet up to the feet to the earth. Hips down, feet down, knees up. Again, lift the low back. Tuck the tailbone. Gently set it down. Feel that good space. You shouldn't really feel crunched through the low back. We're going to come back to windshield wipers, but I give you another option this time. You can go feet together, feet hip width, feet wide, or you can take them with the knees drawn in towards the chest, arms out to the side, palms down. We're still moving in slow motion, getting a lovely massage, but it's a slightly deeper twist. When the knees touch down, you might pause for a breath. And then when you're ready and the next inhale, bring the knees back up through center. And slide over to the left. Maybe the right ear comes down towards the mat. And then back to center. Moving on your own with your breath, pausing when you need to pause, but staying as slow and smooth as you can. And the next time the knees come to the right, let them stay. If your feet are planted, you might put the right ankle on top of the left knee. Not really an option if the knees are drawn into the chest. But pause with the knees down to the right. Bring maybe the left ear towards the mat. Reach the left arm away. I'm going to bring my right hand on top of this left hip, left thigh, just a little bit deepening here. And then release, slide back through center, whatever version you're taking. And then the knees come to the left. Left hand comes to left thigh, maybe. If your feet are grounded, maybe left ankle crosses over right knee. Right arm reaches out. And maybe the right ear is coming towards the mat. And release, sliding back up into center. Feet come to the ground, and this time I will be correct. It is Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Maybe you rock through the hips. Put the left knee down, lift the right, and then rock to the other side. Easing your way into the shape. And then you can settle into the center if you've got props handy and you like them for reclined bound angle. You can use those nice little props. Bring your hands to your body. Bring your hands to your body in a place that feels kind and loving and gentle. So maybe resting at the rib cage and feeling breath. Maybe one hand at heart and one on your belly. Maybe you want to bring the fingertips to the forehead and cup over the eyes. Just a little gentle touch here to the mind. Maybe you want to cross your arms and give your shoulders a little gentle squeeze, touch love. Whatever works for you. Do lift the head slightly, tuck the chin in so the back of the neck stays nice and long. And then breathe. And then at some point, if you feel the need, release the hands out to the side, palms facing up. Or maybe reach the hands up overhead. Letting the breath slow down just a little and find ease here. Allowing the knees to stay heavy and unravel. Letting some of the stories that we hold on to in our hips, just the ones that don't serve us, let them go. Let them go. It's fine. Like my teenagers say, it's fine. We don't need to talk about it. Just let them move on. Deep breath in, long breath out. Push the soles of the feet together. Turn the inner thighs on. Hands outside knees, gently guide back up and walk the feet out to the edges of the mat. Maybe even turn the toes in and the heels out and let the knees come together. Tent pose, it's my name for it. It has a proper name. I don't remember it. I never remember it. I look it up and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, right. And it just goes right out of my hand. So I call it tent pose because that's kind of what it feels like to me. Like I made a little tent. Release the knees. Take the right knee into the chest. You can interlace the fingers if you like. Squeeze that right shin down and then extend the left foot out. Press the left heel away. Squeeze the left toes up towards the sky, turning on the quads and the hamstrings in this left leg. And then maybe you turn the pinky toes down, and then maybe you rotate the big toe in just a little bit, turning through this left leg. And then toes to the sky, nice flex in the foot. Pause. And release the right leg out. Draw the left knee in. Maybe you interlace the fingers. Squeeze that left shin down. Lift and press that right heel away. Toes to the sky. And then same option here. Maybe we turn the pinky toe down and then turn the big toe in. Noticing what is to be noticed in the right hip socket. What we're doing here literally is rotating the femur, the thigh bone, inside the hip socket. Internal rotation towards the middle, external rotation towards the outside. And then squeeze that heel away, press the toes up, really deep flex the foot. And then we'll release left foot to the ground and all the way out nice and long. And then find your way into whatever final shape you want for Shavasana. All I ask is that it be a shape you can find stillness in, not one that switches side to side. So like reclined pigeon, not a great option because you need to switch sides. Find something that's neutral. But if you like bound angle, come back here. Or if you have a block and you want to lift the hips and slide that under the sacrum and allow a little space in the low back, great option. If you loved tent pose today, whatever is your jam right now, find your way into it. Because time flies when you're in yoga, when you're having fun. Let yourself start to sink. Find some ease, find some softness. Find your way into, my instructor calls it the snow. It's the Zen zone. Perfectly alert, completely relaxed. There's nothing left to do. Next few moments are yours to be and to breathe. Being soft in a world that keeps telling us to toughen up, that's rebellious, my friends. It's my kind of rebel. Welcome to Shavasana. Breathing easy. Allowing the breath to get a little deeper, taking in a little more air. Exhaling a little more completely, maybe even sighing it out through the mouth today. Feel that sense of release that comes with a nice deep sigh as the shoulders drop down and the lungs come back in and the rib cage pulls back in, sinking in towards your center, that gooey warm center. And then as the breath gets deeper, let it create soft movement. Maybe it's tapping the thumbs and fingers together or rubbing thumbs and fingerprints. Maybe it's wiggling toes. But small movements become bigger movements. So fingertips become wrists, toes become ankles. Maybe we turn the head side to side. And then on your next breath in, maybe it's the deepest one you have taken yet today. Sweep the arms up and overhead and walk the armpits again. Reaching one arm and then the other. Big stretch, big breath. And then however it serves well, whatever feels great, find your way back to seated. Take your time. Come all the way back up. Stack the head over the heart over the hips. Nice long spine. Close your eyes and ride that roadmap of breath through the body one more time. How does your body feel after practice? How's your energy, your mind, your emotions? Look for the shifts. Sometimes they're subtle and small. And then we'll bring the palms of the hands together. Thumbs to the center of the forehead. The divine light within me bows humbly to the light within you all. Know that you're taking the time to get to the mat is not only a gift you give yourself, it is a gift you share with me. And I'm very grateful for this time to connect, to breathe, to move with all of you. Namaste.